Alright, here we go again. Wounded Waters bleeding against Prussia this time. We're going to heal Serene. So let me put these just there. So I don't even get tempted. Prussia 6 in Serene can be a good matchup. But just into roiling Prussia really depends a lot on its initial couple of turns. And they can really make the game easy or hard. So this is our initial explore. And I would say it's a good explore. Maybe not the best, but certainly not the worst. And what we would like to do here, I guess, is land 1, we just ignore it. It has a high probability of solving itself. We take Teeming Rivers out of this draft. Could, in theory, play Guardian Serpents, but getting a Sacred Site there is just too clunky. And this is just great elements, so... I don't have the time to play it in time to prevent... So we will probably go Blighted. Turn 2 or something, maybe 3. And Teeming Rivers will probably not prevent that. I don't see us having the time to play it, but we'll see. So, actually no, I need to be in here, right? So this land we will just gamble on the event deck, and maybe next time we draft a defend, that would be helpful too, or we play Trot with the Water's Edge. So there's a couple of ways this land can either solve itself or be solved by new drafts. Land 8 and land 2 just don't seem worth solving, and I'm not afraid of cascades anyway, because, you know, Wounded Water does not cascade easily. So what we will just do is we will do like the classic turn 1 play. Boon of Corrupted Blood, kill some Explorer, prevent some build. Works well against the adversary. We skip the first event, which is search for new lands. Okay. And then we build. And let's see. It's not a back-to-back. I guess most back-to-backs would have been fine. But it's Sands. I have to place a town, and I want to place it in land 7, I guess. I mean, land 7, land. I'm not sure if there's an objectively correct land to place it in here, but I'll choose land 7 for reasons. Sanguinary Taint. Mostly that it's easier to defend. If you have a defend card, you can just throw that on there, and then the town doesn't matter, because Town City Explorer is still defendable by many cards. And this can swallow Explorers, but not towns. Anyway, we just killed that Explorer, preventing that build, and that was it. So yeah, we prevented 2 builds, 1 build turn 1, and 1 build turn 2. You're not guaranteed to have that happen. If they had explored Mountain, you couldn't have prevented a build. But I mean, we could have chosen whether or not to maybe kill an Explorer here, or what we would have done. So I guess that was a lucky Explorer, at least not an unlucky Explorer. So, give me a sec. Alright, here we are again. Minor. Disappointing. At this point I'm actually looking at whether or not it's worth taking an animal card. Because reaching grasp is just disappointing. Maybe postpone the decision for a second and decide where to put this presence. So I'm not gonna place it into land 3. It would be nice to be in land 3 for the purposes of... What is it? Being in land 3 would be nice for downgrades, but I don't think I get downgrades online early enough for that to happen. Actually, question, do we play Teeming Rivers this turn? Because if so, then I need to not... Then I need... No, we cannot play Teeming Rivers this turn. I guess we could, yeah. What is the alternative? Playing Trot with the Water's Edge to ensure land 1 is a waste? In my mind, it would be better to play Trot with the Water's Edge on land 3, honestly. I don't mind taking that blight. I want land 1 to have the chance to solve itself in event. And if I pull out the town and I draw a plus defend event, it's wasted. I'd rather use the drawing a town on somewhere where it's more impactful. So I could play Teeming Rivers. It would not change whether or not I go blighted though. So maybe I wait a little bit longer. This Veils the Night. Does Veil the Night's Hunt do anything? I mean, it is a Dahan movement card. But it's a pretty expensive Dahan movement card and it's off element. Gold Allure. I'm not sure if that is good. Maybe. In what kind of explorers would it be good? If we explore coastal, I wouldn't want to use it. If we explore jungle, maybe I could use it. Actually, with jungle it would be good. If you explore sands, would be okay, I guess. Could draw from here. If we explore mountain, it would be bad. It would be okay, I guess. I guess you could play that. Overreaching grasp. Maybe it's wrong to not pick reaching to not pick reaching grasp here, but I think it's fine. So ideally I would be in one of these lands because they're the most relevant lands right now, but since I mean I could go in here, but I don't think it'll help me. So what is my play this turn? Gold Allure is a turn 4 play. Draw to the Water's Edge is a turn 3 play. Or a now play. If I play it now, I could draw into land 2. Land 4. That would be bad. So, draw to the Water's Edge is not a play this turn. There's no towns that I want to draw. That means it's Teeming Rivers. That means this presence stays here. No, actually. This presence moves here is what happens. And yeah. We'll heal water and then look at slow to decide whether or not we're going Swell and Spill or Sank and Irritate. There's no quick, so let's flip the first real event. And it's also pretty impactful in the adversary. Terror level 1. We don't get any fear. So that's that. Dangerous lands. On each board in a land with Beast, we don't have bad lands. 1 damage to Dahan and 1 damage to invaders. Nothing happens. Waning support. Yeah, I'm happy that this triggers this turn and not next turn because we're gonna lose a Dahan now, but this turn nothing happens. So basically the event is nothing happens, which in my book is a good event. I mean, I wanted to see Dahan defend here, but you know. Oh, and I forgot. I'm drawing that into here. So, 1, 2, 3. We're going to resolve this first, then this, and then that, and let's flip. All things weaken is just bad for Serene. That's just how it is. Alright, we build that city there, and we will probably take 1 more blight here. I just don't see a way around that. And nothing happens in land 5, and then coastal. Coastal is pretty bad, probably. We'll see. So, Teeming Rivers. We use it to heal a blight. Let's heal this blight. And then we decide which of our innates to use, and we use water innate. Pull these 2 out of here, into here, and then land 1 is solved, right? Time passes, gain a minor. Yeah, so like coastal like is Good card, good elements, just good. And I had to draw off the water card here. Maybe that was the risk with taking Gulsalor, that if I don't see water here, it's bad. We'll see. So, ideally I play these two this turn. And then these three next turn, just from a pure elements perspective. Actually, it's not actually true. I'm going to hit tier 1 Sanguinary Taint one of these two turns. I get to decide which turn, I guess. Let's heal water. Do I forget Boon of Corrupted Blood? I think not this turn yet. Unless I saw a second... Actually, maybe I do. This lets me place a presence instead of destroying one. I would like to be in land 2. I would like to save land 2. Land 3 will blight and it will kill an adjacent presence. Yeah, nothing to be done about that. Except, you know, save, like, forget Boon of Corrupted Blood and get out one more presence on the board. And it might happen again a second time, we'll see. So, Gausalur seems like a good play here, right? What happens is that they build here and then I pull in a town and Explorer into land 1, strive the town, and the land kind of solves itself. I mean, if I get a Mountain Explorer, I need to do something, but I'll be able to. Oh, but the downside is, of course, that I can only play that turn 4. So, like cost to like would not be bad either, right? I can use that to draw a town and an explorer into here. And we know that that land's not gonna come up again for a while. I mean, could also use it to draw that kind of stuff into my own lands and downgrade it. I don't see the point in Drought with the Water Sedge here. Maybe do that this turn. Yeah. So for the turn at hand, we don't really have any plays, right? Land 5 is already solved, land 3 we're not gonna solve, so we can just play in slow. And that will be fine. We'll decide in slow whether or not we use Swell and Spill level 2 or Sanguinary Taint level 2. Let's look at the event. Sacred Site under threat. I'm happy that I don't have my Sacred Site in any lands with invaders, because I, generally speaking, don't find it worth to pay and don't like destroying. So I'm happy that I just don't have to deal with that. Each beast generates 1 fear. If there are invaders in this land, I will take the fear. And then Spirit Speaks solve the riddles of whatever. Yeah, if I was in that land, I get best just basic, generally speaking, if the Dahan were in my lands, then I would get a minor here, which would be great. But they're not. Lose my second Dahan. Too bad. Nothing happens here. Actually, I now need to destroy a presence, right? Due to unfortunate all things weaken things. Yeah, so has to be this one, right? I want to be in land 2, so I can start downgrading there. And then they build, and nothing happens in land 1. And we explore wetlands, and we add a town. So add the town in here. It's not gonna come up again. I mean, eventually, sure. Next turn it could come up, but... So... I think an obvious play here is to use Sanguinary Taint, kill that Explorer, push that Dahan into here. This downgrades us to 2 towns. 2 towns are drawable by Drought with the Water Sedge, but there's still 3 Explorers there. So it doesn't solve like everything. But I mean, I want that land cleared. I want the Dahan closer to there. I guess it's still the correct play, right? So, 1 fear, kill that Explorer, push that into here. Downgrade maybe an Explorer here, we'll see. Oh, So here's something. Oh, you know, we're going to use Sanguinary Taint level 2. So let's just say I use Swell and Spill here instead. It has the same effect, right? Now actually downgrades one more Explorer. I guess I killed this Explorer. Instead, let's imagine it downgraded. And then I pushed the Dahan into here. If I had any sort of defense, man, downgrading that Explorer, I suppose. And then I use level 2 Sanguinary Taint. I already added the fear for that. Add a beast here, kill that city, right? And then push that Dahan into here, maybe. The town is still there. And the Explorer. It's not good enough, is it? Oh, I see. The correct line of play is different. So let's just revert that. So we have this, we have this, we have this, and we have 3 Explorers in here, I believe, right? 3, 2. What was the board state? I think it had explored for the 3rd time. Right, so it must have been 3 Explorers. Alright, so I think the correct move is to go with the initial plan. Sanguinary Taint, that I've already added the fear, do that, do that. But then instead of relying on draw to the water's edge exclusively, we need to use level 2 Swell and Spell. It still doesn't exactly work, because 3 is just one too many Explorers into All Things Weaken, huh? Well, we'll see. Oh, it still works, but it costs us one more use of our power. Okay. So that was just Sanguinary Taint. Kills that Explorer, pushes the Dahan into here, downgrades the city. Then we use Swell and Spill, I suppose. Level 2. 1 fear. Push out that town into, say, land 6, where it downgrades. Push out this Explorer into land 6. Push out this Explorer into land 6. Push out this Dahan into land 6, where it downgrades one of the previous Explorers. Actually, no, it cannot do that. I push 2 Explorers. I cannot also push a Dahan. But I can push a Presence if I want to. And I think I want to push that. No, I think I'm okay with where the Presence is. So I guess I'm not using the last push of Swell and Spell. And then I use Wreck with Pain and Grief to fear and push that into here, push those both into here. That is how we clear the land. So this will Ravage again, and I lose a Presence again, but land 2 is cleared, land 1 is cleared, and then all that's left to do is Bloodwater and Bloodlust, which we don't need on any of those 2 lands because they don't build. So let's just use that on maybe land 8. Land 3 would kill my beast. And 1 damage events are better now because they kill towns, right? With All Things Weaken. Alright. Took me a while to see a good play there, but we eventually found it. So, and it felt really good to use Sanguinary Taint there, level 1. That is the upside of playing those 2 cards, or any 2 cards with Animal and Water. So I would like to draft a card, because I have the energy for it, but I need the presences on the board because I keep losing presences to All Things Weaken. Gather this into here, place 1 presence in land 4. I should have 4 on the board, which means I get to move 1. I think that is fine, right? I'm gonna lose this presence again, and then that's it. I guess I decide in slow whether or not to use level 2 of Swell Spell or level 1 of Sanguinary Taint. Both realistic options in that matchup. So draw to the Water's Edge. I would like to draw, I guess, this town into land 6. Man, I need to draft Poison Dew. This land can do a lot of damage if it comes up. And there's a 50-50, but I mean, what will you do? That was draw to the Water's Edge. And then we have nothing else in quick. Event. We are in Blighted Island. Yeah, this doesn't do anything. No, like, permanent effects here. Ravaged Wilderness. Remove one beast from a land with blight. Remove one wilderness from a land with blight. I guess I'm removing from here. I don't actually know. In each land with disease, 1 damage to each invader and 1 damage to each Dahan. Remove 1 disease from each land where this destroys any buildings. I mean, that is one thing that gets better with all things weaken. Only a 1 HP city. Now if that looks like maybe I should use Sanguinary Taint. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe they don't even explore there. Each spirit may add 1 Dahan to one of their land with Dahan. At least have 1 land with Dahan, right? I would like to have more, but it's kind of hard with losing presences to this kind of shit. During the next Explore, I like that. Explore skip is kind of exactly what I like to see here. It's not like I need any help this turn, right? So, place a presence, lose another, place a blight, lose another presence. Nothing happens in land 2, nothing happens in land 1. Then they build, nothing happens, explore. We skip land 2 because it's the lowest number matching land. So we explore in land 3 and 4 and 5. I don't hate it. I kind of like back-to-backs sometimes. So, how do I best do this? I could just kill that city here, and I'm really tempted to do it, because when else am I going to get the opportunity? But of course I could also do stuff here, right? I still have like cost to like. But I don't really have a good land to use it on. And I have Gold Allure. That I can use in Landite. And I guess there's no reason to use it on anything else, so let's do that, and yeah. I'm not in Landite. I envisioned I would be in the land, so I could use it to downgrade, and I'm not, but I mean, what can you do? So there's a line of play in which I probably should do that. I can probably pocket here. Use that is going animal and using Sanguinary Taint level 1 on land 8, killing the 1 HP city, and then use, what is it, Swell and Spill on land 4 to push that Explorer into land 2, which downgrades it. And the upside of this line of play is, actually I still have like cost to like, and I haven't used it yet. You know, let's push that and pull that into land 6 and downgrade it as a result. I know it's kind of bad, but I mean, I don't really have the good lands for it otherwise. I'm sure that with enough thinking about it, you could find a better move here, for sure. But I think as much about my moves as I must, I guess. And I feel I must not, or I don't have to actually think about them more here. So call to trade seems easy, right? I mean, the other was the first defense I saw, and I kind of want to see defend. But yeah. Maybe this, and then some water card. Maybe Bloodwater and Bloodlust. It's not my highest fear turn, but I kind of want to get rid of more Blight. It's making me uneasy. The event risk is real. So I'll draw to the Water's Edge. Use that here. And now the inland is pocketed, right? There's no buildings anywhere except in land 3. And as for land 3, I should actually... I forgot to place this here. I mean, it's only a reminder anyway, right? And I forgot to place that here, and this is kind of relevant. Yeah, Waters Renew on full strength. Push these two into here. And they're gonna build here, right? So I'm going to downgrade. I'm going to win the building victory, right? Ah, but I'm not terror level 2 yet. Fuck. This should be... I can still change it. Wreck with Pain and Grief. Get me quicker to the limit. It's still kinda dangerous. Yeah, we'll see. Let's just not change it now. Maybe it's just better with Wreck with Pain, but whatever. So push these two down into here. We get a downgrade, we add a beast, and we get a replacement. I would like to downgrade a town to an explorer. And then I would like to replace a town with a Dahan. So they built a town and not a city. That is my quick. And let's flip the event and see what it has for us. Widening destruction. Add 1 blight to a land with or adjacent to buildings. Or destroy 2 presences. I think I'd rather destroy 2 presences at this point. Actually, no. If I would do that, I would need to destroy... It would destroy my sacred site here. Or it'd be inland 5 only, both of which are unacceptable. So I just take the blight and heal it again. Using Teeming Rivers. Choose a land with disease. I don't have any. During Ravage, Dahan defense. Way too late. Each player adds a strive to a land with, amongst others, beasts. I like that. Alright, then, well, they don't ravage there, right? Because the lands are empty. Then they build here. And then the explorer goes into the sands, and the rest, and I guess into that. But this doesn't have adjacent buildings, and neither does Landite, because I just cleared that. And now it's my slow. I get to choose any blight and heal it. Up to 2 blight again. And then I get to use Swell and Spill. Which I guess I need to do, right? I need to use it on here. I want this and this into here probably. I'm just too far away from a victory. I mean, I guess I get 1 fear from Swell and Spill. So I need at least 1 Dahan outside the land, so I can gather it into the land. Actually, maybe I heal that, so I can push that out of pull that out of here into here. So that is 1 explorer, 1 Dahan, and then do I want to pull the town into here? That is the question, and the answer is probably yeah, right? I can use either Call to Trade or draw to the Water's Edge to pull towns and downgrade them. And I guess that's sort of all the things I want to pull out of here or push out of there. I could push the beast out of there, but I think it's fine. So I used that, no, I haven't used, what is it, Bloodwater and Bloodlust yet? Let's use it here. I just don't want any buildings on my board. So now I did use everything. Time passes. And as nice as it is to heal that blight that I took from the event, right? That is what I got for playing Teeming Rivers. I would have also loved to get the fear from Wreck with Pen and Grief. Maybe no, I need to play that here. And actually, I get to downgrade one of these two. That happened. I pushed stuff into there and never downgraded. Let's take the 3 energy growth, mostly because I need more presences on the board, and I need one presence in here. And I want one in here, maybe? Oh, wait. I need to add one more card. Call to trade, maybe? Sure. With Call to trade, I don't even need to play Draw to the Water's Edge, right? Which means I can play that instead. And that's even better. Okay. So we're going to use Call to trade on land 1. We don't gather the Dahan, but we gather a town and downgrade it in the process. And then instead of ravaging, they build. Which, I mean, they wouldn't ravage anyway, right? So just downgrade the town and quick is what happens. Then I use Waters Renew on land 3. I push that into here. That downgrades because I put the Dahan in there. Add a beast. I defend 3. And I replace this with the Dahan. Could have probably have kept the town in there, but I'm already uneasy due to the strife. I don't want to see a strife ignore event. I just gather that blight into here just to be sure. And ideally that is a little bit of fear then. Alright, let's event this. Blighted Island. It lands without presence, it only takes 1 damage to add. That is so yesterday's news. Choose a land with disease, and that land 2 damage to invaders, 2 damage to Dahan. Rip my beautiful Dahan. Rip these ugly invaders. Each spirit with at least 2 amongst the 2 Dahan in their lands can reclaim a card. And I would like to reclaim this card. That's pretty nice. I'm not sure if I'll need it. I could also gain Boon of Corrupted Blood back, but this is the better play. Alright, then we ravage. This land gets murdered. The rest is empty. Then they don't do anything because all the lands are empty. And then they explore into this land only. And if I was terror level 3 already, then I would have won. Sorry, terror level 2. But I can do that now. Wreck with Pen and Grief on land 2. 2 fear, and then Swell and Spell on that land for 1 fear. Yeah, that is how the game looks like if you just cannot generate any fear. But I think it was sort of in control. I'm a little bit worried about how the game would have gone without teaming rivers or any other way to deal with the Blighted Island card. But in the game we played, it actually went pretty well. I got fairly okay draft, honestly. Goldseller was, I guess, okay. It probably did more realistically than, what is it, Reaching Grass would have done. Yeah, same number of innates hit, and this does not do anything on my board, right? Versus Goldseller, I guess, added a strife to that. Who knows, man, if that was worth it. Otherwise, I felt I had a particularly bad like cost to like. I've done amazing things with like cost to like. It's really good in the matchup, generally speaking. Oh, well, on the Serene build, generally speaking, it has all the elements, and you can downgrade like a town and then something else with that explorer. If you gather, say, a town and explorer and Dahan, it can be so good. But I just didn't really have the lands for it this game. If you pay attention, you can try to manufacture lands that you can use that on. You need to do that ahead of time, of course, but you can do it, and I've done it before. But yeah, maybe with that we could have had one more blight more. But I think most of the blight we took were kind of outside of our control or really hard to stop anyway. So yeah, good game.